up, man?
What's going on, dude?
Another day, episode 6.
All right.
Episode 5, episode 6. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh.
How's your week going?
It's going, dude. It is
Yeah?
going. How about you?
Oh man, it was going all right. Hit a couple speed bumps at work, but we will prevail, get better from it. It was just it was just bumpy. It's gonna lead to some changes, but for the positive. So yeah, I was actually getting ready to like proof listen to the podcast when I got a message, and I was just like, It was one of those where like it was just an immediate drop off of the day, and I was like, man. And it's like been like all I've been thinking about. So I'm kind of glad doing this podcast to take it off my mind, but obviously it's not because I'm talking about it on the podcast. So
Yeah, no, right?
no, it'll all be good. It'll be good. We'll be all right.
It's always the thing too, like get my mind off things, but you sit there and think about it the entire time.
Yeah, I couldn't help, but I like saw this video, this little TikTok or whatever, this short video, and it was this guy walking down the stairs, and he's all good, and he slips. He doesn't even necessarily fall down the stairs. He just slides like do like Marv does, and that was exactly like how I felt. Like, yeah, everything's good. Down the stairs. I'm like,
you just sounded like SpongeBob, dude.
Damn.
I know, it's okay though. I don't think we're gonna get copyrighted for that, so we aight.
What we're having a lawsuit here in like 2 weeks.
I swear to God,
like,
it was his actual voice.
Yeah, it was an accident.
Total mistake.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that's about it. So I guess we'll do the rundown.
Okay. Let's hit it.
Last week we did the top 5 underappreciated villains, and then what's funny is you had her on your list.
I did.
And I almost had her on the list, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop and thinking about this. But we're finally going to we're going to debate, and then we're going to vote at the end. We're going to come to a conclusion, 12 Angry Men style.
Ooh.
Is Jenny the villain in Forrest Gump? We're going to get down to that. Also, we're going to share an embarrassing story. And then Back to the Future, one of our favorites. I made my wife watch that movie when we first started dating.
Nice.
And I was like, if she doesn't like this movie, it's just not going to work out. Luckily, it worked out. Back to the Future, a possible remake or a possible sequel. So we'll talk about that. And then kind of tag on that. Time travel. If there is a year you could redo without any time-altering consequences. So you'd be the same right now, but just 1 year or time you could take back. Would you do it? And if you do, it would. Why? So gotcha. I think it'd be kind of interesting to talk about, but no time-altering consequences. So yeah. So, Brandon, the famous question we ask every show: what you drinking?
Today we have the
I saw it.
No, you didn't. Hold on. Okay. What is it then?
It looked like an M43.
You lying ass. M43.
Yeah.
Tart strawberry by Old Nation, baby.
Fantastic.
This is so beautiful.
It is. That is a fantastic beer.
Yeah. I know you fell in love with New England IPAs. And
yes.
They are very, very juicy and deliciousness. I do, in fact, want to sometime this summer. They have a dry hopped lager called Boreal. I think that's what it is, Boreal. And I really want to try to get that. I think it's a year-round beer. And then in July and September, I believe, maybe October, they have the Oktoberfest I want to try. I did not get a chance to try that last year, and I definitely have that on my list to get a hold of
Nice.
this year. So all good
Nice.
stuff from Old Nation
Yeah,
up
that
there in
was the
Michigan.
beer I've been seeking to try, and I finally got to try it when I was at your house for the
Oh
football
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah. Dude, it's
And
beautiful, ain't it?
yeah, yes,
It's
it's
just
a
like it's the M43, but then it has like a little hint of tart strawberry.
tardiness.
You're like,
Yeah,
oh wow, that's
yeah,
strawberry.
yeah. That's just
No,
it's
it's
another
good.
one.
It's good
Oh, I'm
beer.
sorry. Yeah, it's just another one of those though. Like we tried, we tried to drink craft beer all day. It
Oh no,
does
dude.
not work out with those at all.
That's like a 10-pound steak, dude.
Yeah,
Okay, you can eat that, and then you're like,
yeah. It's
yeah,
like
well,
that one Family Guy episode when it's like one of the cutaways where like, did you Carter? Did you tell your son-in-law that he's supposed to spit out the wine?
oh, yeah.
Peter
He's
Griffin's
naked.
butt ass naked. He's like, "Where's that Peter Griffin? I bet him $100 to take off all my clothes off."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's me. That's
that
me.
was it. Pop that baby.
Oh, it squirted at me.
Sometimes that happens.
Ooh, it's chunky.
Chunky,
Ugh. You
chunky,
got?
like my milk. I got New Holland Brewery Tangerine Space Machine
Ooh, I've had that.
Hazy IPA. I grabbed it
Yeah.
because of the name, and then just the bonus of it. It was a hazy IPA, and I was like, "There we go." It was meant to happen.
There you
Meant
go.
to happen. New Holland's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's yeah, New Holland actually makes I was going to grab one of the New Hollands down there, so I think I'll wait till next week to grab that one.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's
New
a
Holland's pretty
delight.
good. It's
A
pretty good.
delight.
It's pretty dang good. Yeah, they have a big restaurant downtown called the Knickerbocker. Have you heard
Mm.
about that?
No, I don't think so.
Super cool building. The building alone is awesome. It's right in our downtown area.
I guess it sounds familiar, but I think that's a pretty popular name for a lot of things. So
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a cool place to go because they have one out in Holland and then the Knickerbockers in downtown Grand Rapids.
mm. Is that a hotel too? I
I
think
think
that's I'm thinking it's a hotel in like
no,
New
it's not.
York or
No,
somewhere.
no, it's just a big restaurant.
No, I'm saying like it's in Chicago. I think
Oh,
it's
the
in
Knickerbocker.
Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, I think so. That's maybe what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So, all
Okay.
right. Well, let's get into it. Jenny.
Yeah, yeah. Psh.
Jenny.
So, yeah, so Jenny,
Good song, huh?
Jenny. Yeah, I had her on my list last week, but
Mm-hmm.
as I was talking about her, I was like, maybe she's not. Maybe it's just me thinking like this. I was like, I don't want to put it on here because I kind of feel like it's a stupid
Well,
answer now.
let's go through.
But
Let's go
until
through the
you brought it
history.
up, and then I was
Right.
like, oh,
Like,
hold on.
I kept seeing it on I don't know what Facebook post or whatever I saw. It's on one of the pages. They like constantly post, well, Jenny's the actual villain, and I've heard a lot of people, say it, and a lot of people don't like her, and there's a lot of reasons for it. But I'm gonna go through the time. Let's go through the story real quick. For all those that don't know, who should absolutely know, because Forrest Gump is a fantastic movie.
It's in my I want to say top 5 movies all time, but it could be in my top 3.
I would say top 3 for me. And even top 3, it's like there's other movies I like just as much. So it's like 1A, 1B, 1C,
Yep.
and then there's a big drop off at number 2.
Hmm.
But I mean, there's there's just a ton of movies.
So you're gonna just go through the rundown of the movie? Is that what?
Yeah,
you're
let's go.
trying to
Let's
say?
go through the story. So she meets Forrest on the bus, and they turn out to be friends, and things are going well. She accepted Forrest when no one would accept him on the bus. He was obviously teased. Then it turns out that they do a really good job at, I don't want to say the word innocently, mentioning that she was molested by her father, her and her sisters.
Yeah. Physically abused and sexually
Physically and
abused. Yeah.
sexually abused, and it's the way they touch on it. It's really easy. I don't know how to say. It's really like when I was young, it was kind of easy to miss. Now it's like the
Oh, for
weight the
sure.
weight of it's a lot heavier.
I didn't even realize it when I was younger.
Yeah, and so she moves away. Her and Forrest still stay friends all the way through high school, and they end up graduating high school. She goes to college. He goes to the army. They meet back up at her college where she's getting pretty much forcibly groped. Forrest comes, whoops that ass. Yeah. Then they go into her dorm room where Forrest ruins her roommate's bathrobe. Which they also do a really good job at kind of pass it through. So they end up separating again. I believe the next time he sees her, she's on stage at that. I don't know. Would you call it a nudie bar? Type of nudie bar,
Yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah, I definitely would say that's what it is.
He gets in a fight for her again, defending her honor. She walks off. They get into an argument. They end up separating where he's going to Vietnam. And then he ends up seeing her at the Capitol where she's running through the water.
Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool.
Yeah, So they meet up again. It turns out she's with a bad crowd. Yada yada yada. She had a shitty boyfriend who he again beats the shit out of. So
this guy's got a lot of fights in the movies.
Yeah, 3 fights this guy's going through. Like Forrest Gump, I mean, we need to start talking about. He's a whole can of whoop ass, dude.
And it's not just a push and shove. It's literally cock back boom. Like he's whooping these guys' asses.
He's like the Terminator, no questions asked.
Douche.
Yeah. So he gets in a fight, and then she heads off again with that dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
And then they meet up later, and they end up at the house where things are going really well. And actually, before that, she was at a New Year's Eve while Forrest was with Lieutenant Dan. Yeah, she's with some douche doing some heavy drugs. She goes to commit suicide, so obviously she's a mess. They meet up again at Forrest's house after his mom passes, and they end up making love. Finally, Forrest confesses his love to her, and
he did that way in the beginning too, dude.
Yeah.
He was constantly doing that.
We'll touch on this more. We're just doing a quick run through. They end up making love. She wakes up real early, takes off.
Again.
Yep. Then they finally meet towards the end, after Forrest ran the country. Introduces Forrest to his son. And then she admits that she has AIDS. She does have AIDS.
They didn't really admit it, though. Right?
Yeah,
but
it's what it is. It was the epidemic that was happening at that time.
Yeah, it was the time frame, yeah.
Yeah, and she ends up ultimately passing. And, man, as a kid, and even now, the way Forrest talks at her gravesite, like, I'm, like, done. I'm done. No matter what, it'll be my whole life. It'll ruin me.
Yeah, he had that straight, pure love towards her.
Yeah.
Like the whole movie, man.
Right.
She just treated him like shit.
Right. And as a guy, I know the friend zone very well. I knew it for a long time with a lot of girls. And even me, I'm sitting there like, Jenny, you little bitch. Like, I was like, you owe Forrest this. So, but then, like, when I started seeing more of it, I start looking, because the whole story is pretty much from the perspective of Forrest. We are cheering for Forrest. We want Forrest to have anything he possibly wants. And he achieves everything, except throughout the whole movie, Jenny's the one that kind of is the rough patch for Forrest, outside of his mom passing away and so forth. But I'm going to make the case for Jenny real quick. Do you mind if I ramble for a little bit?
Oh, I'm going to hit it afterwards. So.
All right. So first of all, Jenny had a horrible past. Not an excuse. It's the reality of it. It's clear that she had a terrible past. She stuck up for Forrest when others wouldn't. Throughout the story, Forrest saw her in such a light that, like, when she was new, like, she's at a titty bar and she's performing, the song, and she's trying to be really classy but obviously she's not at a classy joint. Some guys act out of line, and Forrest embraces this woman so much. Like he is seeing her as like she finally made it. You know, like she made it. It's like no, Forrest. She's literally at a titty bar singing a song nude. You know, like that's
shit.
how he saw her. He saw no wrong with her.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
And this is where I start like, we got to be a little thankful for Jenny. After that, she got into the argument with him, and right before, so bye bye Jenny, I'm going to Vietnam. She tells him, she goes, you need to run. Don't, pretty much don't be a hero. You need to run. And by her saying that, he had done that. He fought, but he knew in retreat. He ran, and ultimately he ended up saving a bunch of other guys, and saved Bubba. And if you think about it, if he stayed with Bubba, there's a chance he's gonna die. He would have died.
Easy.
Would have been killed.
Easy.
So Jenny, being what she said, and him always listening, pretty much saved his life. Now, it's clear her past abuse led her down a bad road for a while. And it's very clear that I don't want to say Forrest I don't want to say he's handicapped, but something's missing right there. He's too innocent. You know what I mean? Like
it is a weird situation he's in.
A mental situation.
He's almost kind of, I don't want to say it like this, but he's not intelligent, right? He has a smarts for certain skills.
He's oblivious,
but he's like, it doesn't come to him.
Yeah.
On some things,
but
like, he is. I know it's really weird. He is smart though. It's kind of confusing.
He's obviously smart. He's a billionaire. We invest our money in some fruit company. He's catching all this shrimp. Like he is just he's made it. So so then, it's kind of hard. Like if anyone was in that position, I think Jenny didn't want to. What's the word I'm looking for? Tarnish him with her character. She's aware, like, Forrest, you don't want to marry me.
Yeah.
I honestly think she believes she would absolutely dismantle this person. In the end, she's probably going to hurt him. She is struggling. She doesn't see that Forrest is probably the only solid thing in her entire life. But I just see her making that choice on, I do not want to destroy this person. And with my choices and my state of mind at this moment, I could destroy him. So I think that's why she ran, ended up leaving him. And, people were like, oh, you only went back when he was a billionaire. It's like, no, she left. But, when she left the first time, it's not like she could get a hold of him to let him know.
Yeah, it's not like nowadays.
We couldn't text, we couldn't email, we couldn't call. He's literally running across the freaking country back and forth. She kept the stuff, and she kept his child. She knew she was in trouble. I don't want to say like she would never, like she wouldn't have tried to reconnect with him if she wasn't dying, but it's not like she could get a hold of him either. The dude's gone. Like, how in the hell are you gonna track this guy down? She's a single mom. She's a waitress. She's working to provide for her son. She's a single mom. And I think when it was time, like, she realized, like, listen, like, I have to reunite my child with his father. My time's limited. I think she finally had an epiphany and kind of corrected all the things she'd done wrong. She ended up marrying Forrest. And made sure that her son was kind of like set up, like just safe with the father. There's a lot of routes she could have taken. I'm pregnant with Forrest's kid. I mean, it could have led to abortion, adoption. She could have just never reached out and given it to another family member, or give the child to another family member. I think at the end it was her coming to a realization that she's gonna right all the wrongs that she pretty much did, and kind of come to peace with everything.
Yeah.
I don't think like she had a lot of demons, and I think towards the end it kind of she kind of made up for it, righted her wrongs, and just made the right choices, in the end. But yeah, I don't know. It's easy to see it because we see a lot of stuff from like only Forrest Gump's perspective.
Perspective, yeah, for sure.
And a lot of people don't think. I mean, she is a mess. Like when she was visiting before she had left, when she walked up on the house, it broke her completely down. She started throwing rocks.
Oh, you mean her house, right?
Yeah, her house.
Yeah, she destroyed it.
Yeah, well, he did at the end. But I mean, it was just like I just think Forrest was a little. She probably viewed him as way too innocent, and she was destructive, and she didn't want to bring that to him.
Yeah,
because I honestly think she would have. He loved her so much and held her on such a high pedestal. I think he would have allowed himself to, get drugged down with her, and I think she feared that. So, yeah, so that's my take, on it. So what do you got?
I mean, yeah, you literally said everything I was going to say. So
My bad.
We're done. No, she.
And that's episode 6. Goodbye.
No, she's clearly not the antagonist of Forrest Gump. She's lifelong friend Forrest Gump. She's shown to be one of the few people who loves him, supports him, who he is. I did, and originally I did give kind of hate for her. I was like, you bitch.
Oh yeah,
I think a lot of people did, and again, they did not think of the shit that she's been through. Obviously,
trauma.
Physically, sexually abused by her father, results in how she acts as an adult. I mean, it's nature. You see that nowadays still. That's just trauma. You don't get to see that side of the story, so people can't. They just automatically assume like she's the villain. Yeah, like I said earlier, Forrest has that pure love towards her, dude, and that shows the entire movie and how she treats him with emotionally abusive relationship that she does. Even Forrest names his boat Jenny.
All of them.
Right? The most beautiful name in the world.
Yeah. What did he have, like 11 Jennies or something?
Yeah,
like that?
so I mean, it shows you like his love for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she was just in like I was thinking of her like she's just like complicated relationship with like emotion. She feels like she doesn't deserve him. Like it's kind of like the same things you're saying, that she don't deserve to love just because of her past.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why she's always pushing him away. And then, time after time. So I'm gonna assume that's probably why.
I think it was a fear to tear him down.
Yeah, she just causes him a lot of hurt, and again, constantly leaving him, returning, leaving, returning.
Yeah.
So, she in that aspect, I feel like she's definitely selfish, but
I think without Forrest, she dies.
She
dies
easy.
earlier.
Oh, easy, dude. She might have died when that guy was getting it with her in the car. She obviously did not want that to go on, but
yeah.
But it's interesting because when you brought that up, when she runs through the reflecting pool, it's showing you that she does give a shit.
Yeah.
Because she didn't have to do that.
No.
So she could have just sat back and was like, "Oh, I know that guy." But in the same way, she did this, disrupting the whole speech he had, and then I kind of feel like here's a selfish thing again. Mm-hmm. She's making it all about her. Thousands of people there for this speech, but and she's the complete opposite of Forrest.
Yeah. Yep. And, it was the times also, like, he wrote her all those letters. I mean, it's obvious she was in a van and gone.
Oh
hippie
yeah, yeah,
hippie free love
yeah.
out
It's the
there,
'70s.
has no stability, and yeah, I mean it's just yeah, she had a lot of growth to do,
Yeah.
and it's actually, if you look at it through the movie, if you focus on just her story and take Forrest out of the aspect, there is a lot of growth in that character. I mean, she saw the lowest of lows, and Forrest saw the highest of highs throughout his life. And yeah, it could have gotten a lot worse for her. Um, and I think she's got Forrest to thank for that. And because if you notice, the last time she left, we didn't meet Jenny on her low point anymore.
No, no, we didn't.
She rose back up, did what she had to do, and yeah, raised a child, and like I
Mm,
said, it wasn't easy to track people down
no, and
back
even
then.
even in the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie, I think that's actually set in the '80s.
I think so. Yeah,
I think so.
yeah, because
It's
that was
still
when the
there's
the
still not the
AIDS.
technology is still not there.
Yeah,
So
I, I,
she
they barely had
she
cordless phones, or even if they
yeah
did, I
she
don't even know if they did.
they might have
Yeah, who
but
knows? Yeah, so
in the end, it's ultimately she realizes like she could have had a great life with him, and
hmm
she screwed up. She could have been very very happy, but unfortunately that comes to the end with her death.
yeah.
But
Oh,
so
that's brutal.
so
That
this is
scene.
so after yeah I know right. That's just I had it earlier and I was thinking about it. So so personally, overall, I don't think she is the villain, or she is a villain
I think it's
because
low hanging fruit to call her a
so
villain.
yeah, so villains purposely do harm and bad. Unfortunately, she don't realize what she's doing,
Yeah,
and she don't want to hurt him. Her behavior is the result of her childhood, and that's just she's
I think they used her too to show the times, the darker. Because I mean, Forrest Gump shows the times they go through, what, the '60s, '70s, and into the
mm-hmm.
'80s. I think Forrest was a representation of all the good things that were going on,
Oh, dude, I'm gonna list. I wrote
and
everything
yeah, and
down too.
Jenny was the underbelly of how ugly things had gotten in the through that time period. And I think that's what the writer used was, Forrest is going to show, I mean, look at Forrest. What is he? He played football he's a college graduate.
Oh, I got it all listed. You want me to go through it?
Yeah, do it. Go.
Okay.
Roll.
So I go. This is everything that I can think of in my head. I might have missed a couple things. So uh, he meets Elvis in his early days.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Invents
at
his
his
walk.
house. Yeah. He overcomes his.
Or
I think he
dance,
had
excuse me.
scoliosis.
Yeah.
His issue, or yeah. So then he plays college football at collegiate level. He's named All American. Meets JFK. You know. Uh,
I got to go pee.
I gotta think this gentleman has to go pee.
Yeah.
Yeah. He joins the army, fought in Vietnam, saved a shit ton of lives, and he
War
got
hero.
shot in the mix of it. He ended up getting the Medal of Honor. He earned the Medal of Honor,
Shot in the
and
ass.
yeah, showed. He went to meet Lyndon B. Johnson, and he showed him his ass.
Yeah.
so
You shot me
okay.
in the ass.
The best part was just like when he bent over.
Yeah.
Lyndon B is just like it just kind of turns around and
Yeah.
walks away. He's like, God damn it.
Yeah, what did he say? Jesus Christ, son.
But then he goes on to be a world champion ping pong player.
Yes.
He got invited to the Dick Cavett show where he got to meet John Lennon.
Right.
So, yeah, meets Nixon because they won the ping pong international championship or some shit. And then Nixon told him, you could stay the night in the hotel.
Watergate.
And then Nixon's misfortune
Yeah.
God, I'm mixing up.
Impeachment.
Reports the whole Watergate scandal.
Yeah.
Hell,
People
man.
with flashlights keeping me awake.
Yeah, I don't know if they're lost or, but yeah, which that obviously leads to Nixon's resignation. But then he was in the Black Panther scenes, mixed up and randomly in
Another
that.
fight.
Yeah.
Sorry, I ruined your
Starts
Black Panther party.
yeah, $1 billion shrimp business,
Yeah.
which I looked it up, and it's funny. Someone actually did the math in today's standards. Oh no, I'm sorry. In that time frame standards, it was about $5.2 billion company that he had,
Wow.
and this dude's taking a fucking bus down the street.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So got the business, Lieutenant Dan. Uh, let's see what to say.
Invested in Apple.
Invested in Apple. Him and Lieutenant invested in Apple. During the run, he came up with the iconic smiley face logo.
Yeah.
And it's still used today. Look at
Have
all the
a nice
emojis.
day.
What happens? Shit.
Wow.
Oh man, you just stepped in a big pile of dog shit,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, he had literally the American dream.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even know.
Nope.
He's just oblivious for everything, and he's just
humble the whole time,
just,
obliviously humble.
And he's chasing. He wants to chase Jenny down all his chance he gets, and it's like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Incredible though. It's such a good movie, dude.
It was. They were gonna make a second one.
Oh really?
And it was gonna end with the
Twin
Towers.
That was a book. I think that was based off a book. This.
Yeah.
Forrest
Yep.
Gump,
Both.
So.
Yeah. The first one was. The second one, I mean, he was gonna end up in the back of OJ's white Bronco while the chase was going on, and then it was gonna end on the events at the World Trade Center, 9/11.
Wow.
And they did decide to go with it, and I'm like, man, that would have been dark. That would have been real dark. But yeah, they decided not to go through with it, and I'm glad. But
yeah, Tom Hanks won. I think he won an Academy Award for that.
You know who was supposed to be Forrest Gump? Who they wanted initially? Chevy Chase.
No way.
Yes. Chevy Chase.
Dude.
It would have been. I
don't think I would have.
I love Chevy Chase.
I don't think I could have taken him serious.
No, I think he wouldn't have had the charm.
No.
It would have been a lot more sarcastic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or he would have pulled it off. I don't know, but it's hard. It's a hard one to see. Like it's one like we've mentioned Clive Owen as Iron Man.
Wow.
That's something I want to check out. Chevy Chase as Forrest Gump. I love Chevy Chase, but I don't want it. I don't want to. I don't see it working.
No.
At all. And it's like I'm glad. I'm glad that didn't happen. I mean, I wouldn't have known any better.
No.
But
no, I'm glad Tom Hanks did it. Even Robin Wright as Jenny, she did a fantastic job, and I don't think she got anything for that actually.
I don't know. She did a great job as Jenny, and I'm glad she kind of had a resurgence.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she played in House of Cards, and
yeah, even though that last season was dog shit.
Oh,
so
I hated it.
Yeah. So the verdict: Jenny is not a villain.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and. She's not a villain. She's just a bad person.
Yeah, she was a person that made a lot of bad calls, but towards the end, I mean, what did she like? Everyone's like, "Oh, Forrest, I'll be back when you're a billionaire." No. Yeah, she did not get the benefit from any of that at all. She went back to him when he was a billionaire and ended up leaving. Mm-hmm. But I think it was she made a judgment call. She wasn't going to destroy this dude.
No,
at all.
I guess in that terms you can't consider her a villain.
No, everything he achieved, she was not there for.
That's very true.
And she saved his life. And yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go. Not a villain, but a lot of poor choices. She represented the dark times through the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Mm.
So I think there was a kind of a yin yang more than anything, and she, like Walt from Gran Torino, in the end, kind of righted the wrongs before they passed. So.
Yep.
So yeah, all right. The gavel is down. Not a villain.
Yeah.
So, Brandon,
Cool.
embarrassing story.
Oh, dude, you know,
I can go first if you'd like.
you, I I don't no, I can go first
Go.
because unfortunately I don't have anything that I can think
You
of
don't have
that.
a damn thing.
No, I was sitting there. I was like, dude, I can't remember anything that like actual like really embarrassing that like oh my god, you know.
Or no, or something that you want to reveal that no one knows yet that would embarrass you a little. It wouldn't destroy you. I give you an idea with
Um,
my story.
Go ahead.
Ha! This is gonna embarrass the shit out of me. So back when Britt and I started dating, oh god, back when Britt and I started dating, I worked at a very popular, I'll say a very popular motorcycle company. And I worked at their distribution center, so we loaded trucks. All we did was pick orders and load trucks. And when it got hot, it got hot. Actually, it was a nice facility. It was air conditioned, but if you were the one loading the truck, the orders would come down and you loaded the truck. That truck was hot. I'm talking, it had to have been anywhere from 90 to 100 degrees in the middle of July.
Mm.
So I am sweating. And every dude goes through this. You're a freaking liar if you don't. But I started chafing. I started chafing between my thighs at like 11 a.m. I'm like, fuck, this is going to be a long fucking day. I'm walking like a penguin, trying to hide it, you know? I'm like, oh, I'm dying. I'm adjusting the boxer briefs, like, get through this, right? Get freaking through this. So I get through the day. I barely make it to my car, and I'm like, man, I am ruined right now. And, Britt and I, like I said, we just started dating. We have a dog. And we get home. And I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I'm like sitting on the toilet. Like, that's the only thing that feels good is sitting down. And she's like, I want to take the dog for a walk. And like, I don't know why. Like, now I'd be like, no, I am burning alive right now. I need to rest. No. I don't want to disappoint this girl. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, what on earth can I do to get rid of this? And this is before, I don't know if you know, but antiperspirant deodorant relieves it instantly. I did not know that. So I'm sitting there in the bathroom. I'm like, what the hell is going to help me right now? And I'm looking around. We don't have much. I mean, I just bought my house for the first time. I don't know what it is. You buy your first house, you have no money. You don't have a lot of things in the house. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm going through the cupboards and in the bathroom, and I pull out her pads.
No.
And I,
No.
and I'm sitting there like, I think this will work. And so I'm sitting there. I'm opening them. I've never opened these before. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. And I'm like, oh, there's a sticky side here. All right. One wing here, on one thigh, and one wing on the other. And I was like, all right, moment of truth. And it worked.
Oh my god.
I
dude.
did not tell her. And I was sitting there like, all right, yeah, let's go take the dog for a walk. And the whole time, like, it was such a relief. All I could think about is that song, Walking on Sunshine. Whoa. And I'm like,
No,
oh
dude.
my God. She had no idea. She had no clue. And I'm sitting there like, what am I going to do to get rid of these things? Like, you know what I mean? I don't want this girl to know I'm sitting here with her freaking pads on my, in her thighs, like just walking like, yeah, I did it. But man, it was brilliant. And I eventually down the road, I ended up admitting it to her at one time. I was like, I got something to tell you.
Wow.
Honey, I got to tell you. And she goes, oh, well, antiperspirant deodorant just takes that away. And I was like, well, son of a bitch. That would have saved me a lot. That would have saved me a lot of embarrassment. Like, I was sitting there. It was just like shame. Like, I'm sitting there slapping these things on my thighs. Like, okay, I think this will work.
Yeah. Dude, I have Vaseline, and yeah. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
It's in my gym bag because, like, even when I used to like run a lot a long time ago, I used to chafe, and Vaseline, man.
Yeah.
It takes a long time for that to wear off. And so Yeah.
Yeah.
But
What's
yeah,
that
I used to do
squishy
that.
sound when you walk, Brandon? Shut up.
It's a nice slide.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, this is so much better, dude.
Oh my god. I have to get that off my chest. I can't believe I just made that public. But hey, we went
Yeah.
for an embarrassing story.
Dude, I really don't. Like, I was like thinking, like, what could I put down? Like, what? Nothing like really stands out.
Oh, you're killing
I'm
me.
sure there is. Maybe we'll resurface this topic later on, and
Yeah.
maybe I can figure something
If
out
you leave
next.
me out to dry while I admit that, I probably won't do anything, but
Shall you burn in hell?
yeah. Yeah. I'm waiting for any of the guys be like, did it. I did it, bro. You're not alone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, dude, I do that stuff all the time. Like, what?
I was sitting there. I like by the time I got home, I was positive I was just gonna see bone rubbing together. Like that's how I was like, I'm fucking dying right now. So
God, I can feel it too.
yeah,
It sucks.
I
It
know.
really does.
It's
That
horrible,
sucks so
especially
bad.
at a place like you have to wear like jeans and stuff, and it's middle of winter, or excuse me, middle of summer, and yeah, oh, the worst feeling. I'm like sitting there like I'm just gonna start wearing fucking like superhero outfits or baseball pants just so I avoid this all.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll put them in style. I don't care.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like I said, we'd have to come back to that topic in
Yeah.
a later episode because I right as of right now I don't have it.
You know what? We'll just call that section life and times of Ryan. I used to post those on Facebook, like embarrassing moments. I got one
Is
more
it just
for
gonna
you.
be
You
like
want-
another
you want-
episode?
I'll do one more.
Go.
So, it's same place I worked at. The plant manager. We had television in the break room, and I was on guide, and I'm just like looking for something to watch because I took break later than everybody else, and we're watching, and I'm going through, and he stops to talk to me. I'm like, oh, cool. The plant manager's talking to me, and he was a cool dude. I liked him. And so I'm making eye contact with him while we're talking as I'm scrolling down, and I'm not looking. I just keep pressing the buttons. And I think it was like Dish Network. It was a satellite company or satellite dish company, and
Oh Jesus!
and
I already
I'm
know where
looking
this
at
is
him,
going.
He looks first at the screen. He breaks eye contact and looks at the screen, and I look up, and I stopped on a program, a nice friendly program on pay-per-view called Top Shelf Boobies. And
Oh, that's
I
great.
look back, and he looked back at me, and I was just like, he could see me in instant sweat, face red, like, holy shit, I'm going to die. And I like scroll through. We never talked about it the whole time. Didn't say a word.
Yeah.
But I
Just kept
know he
going.
saw it. I was literally stopped. Top Shelf Boobies.
Interesting. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
kill me
So I have
now.
to- So I have to ask you, did you buy it? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I should have said that on the company, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
God, I'm actually looking up.
Top
It
shelf
was
movies.
so bad. It was so embarrassing. That was awful. That was awful. And younger as you're younger, you're more embarrassed than anything. Now I've been like, whoop. So, just ridiculous. So there's my two life and times of Ryan. I got
Nice,
plenty of
dude.
other ones.
Yeah, eventually we'll come back and I'll have something another time.
Yeah.
But
You're gonna get off this, be like, oh, I should have said this.
then I'll write it down too. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Oh,
yeah. So you want to hit this Back to the Future story?
yes, man. Back to the Future, one of our like all-time favorite movies. There's two sides to this story. You mentioned you saw I'll let you say the Michael J. Fox side of it.
Oh, the fact that he wasn't sure.
You expect it to
they're
get
gonna do.
remade.
Yeah, I didn't actually read the whole entire
Yeah,
article.
he pretty
but
much.
he basically said that he wouldn't be surprised if they did remake it.
You know how awful that would be.
You know, I always want to give the benefit of the doubt with movies and stuff, but I get scared sometimes.
If you think
Really
about
do.
it, like first of all, let's just look at it from this perspective. they nailed the magic. Like when I
Oh
went to,
yeah,
when I went
easy.
to school for video, a guy told me, he goes, no matter how good your script is, if you don't have the, and he used that 70s show as an example, if you don't have the magic, the cast just works, everyone's perfectly casted, and the writing lines up with it, you have that magic. And that's what Back to the Future has.
Oh, easy.
Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox,
Yeah.
solid. Absolutely. It was insane. Like, everyone was perfect in that movie. And I don't think they'll capture that. They'll capture that at all. But
It's gonna be hard.
yeah, but now
You
think
know.
of this again. So they were going from 85 to 55.
hmm
I mean, I could see why he wanted to get back to 1985 outside of his family and existing at all. But 85, like, it was awesome. I could not imagine if you or I time traveled back to, so let's say what was that, 30
Well, it'd be 30
years?
years, so it'd be going back to what was that 93.
I'm not coming back. I'm not coming
Well,
back.
with the knowledge that
Not even the
I'd
knowledge.
be a billionaire.
Just to go back and have that experience again. Like, I don't have to deal with social media. I don't have to deal with constant people on their cell phones. Everyone's much more interactive. Politics is not as just fucking insane as it is right now. There's a lot, like, I don't know if someone would come back, or even if it would be interesting enough to come back. You know what I mean? Like, kids now, if you notice, a lot of stuff is retro now. Stranger Things,
Oh, easy.
retro,
Yeah.
because everything's technological. I'm begging right now for a fucking kid to ride his bike in front of my car, and I gotta wail on the horn. Get out of the fucking road! It's not here.
You won't. You
No,
won't.
it's not. It's not here. Kids aren't outside as nearly as much before. I mean, I know a lot of kids still are, but like, a lot of kids are just kind of into the technology and yada yada yada, and I just feel like people embraced their social skills a lot more back in the day. I mean, you were kind of forced to even have them. You had to have them. You
Yeah.
know, parents are kicking their kids outside, go fucking play.
It wasn't even like that for me though. It was like I was never inside.
No.
It was like come home when the streetlights come on, right? But
Yeah.
they did, and you're still out. Like
Yeah.
you were always outside.
Yeah.
Never inside.
Yeah. Like,
And I was like telling my kids, like they were playing these video games all the time. I was like, didn't you play video? I go, I did, but it was like half hour, and then I was outside for 6-7 hours.
yeah,
You
we were
know?
we were on our bikes.
Oh
I
God.
mean, hours of the day, even like after school. I remember, like, after school, I wouldn't go home for like 4 or 5 hours till like 7:30. Then I would probably play a video game, hop on AIM, Instant Messenger, talk to everyone friends, and go to bed. Now it's like, man, like these. I'm begging a kid to like kick over my fucking garbage while you're on your bike. Like, just do it. I'll
Or
please.
just like run over garbage cans with like an escort.
Yeah,
Something, something like that.
Pull a Napoleon Dynamite and build a fucking ramp on the sidewalk. I want to see this. Like, I want to see you guys out. Like, it's just so. I really don't think, like, if I was young, I didn't have my family that I would obviously want to come back to. But if I could go back, be like, yo, I'm gonna pop back to '93. No, I'm not coming back. Bye. Like,
Nah.
I don't think. I'll be honest. I don't think. I think it's really hard to make a movie about recent times now, like with kids and experiences, because it's fucking boring.
Well, that I actually thought about that. I was like, it's got to be, if they do, it's going to be relevant to today's generation.
Yeah.
Right. So it'd be like more like 2024, go back to 94 type deal. It in a way, it's like, it's kind of like, they go back to '94. You see Blockbuster
Yeah,
hanging out, and the O.J. Simpson trials on TV.
yeah,
Hey, since we just talked about it, Forrest Gump came out that year too.
right,
So like Forrest Gump movie,
right.
like it's like that'd be the kind of thing, or go like the second Back to the Future and go 30 years into the future, and like
2015.
dude,
They got it
20.
wrong.
So what's that? 2054. It would be. What would be 2054 be like? 50% of the jobs
Oh
are
my
all lost because
god.
robots are doing all the work. And
Honestly, yeah,
increased energy across the globe is lead to widespread power outages.
yeah,
Like that's the kind of shit that will be in 30 years, something like
yeah.
that.
I honestly,
But
I'd probably say whoops, like
yeah,
whoops.
damn.
So yeah, so
But
I don't think a remake would work, and I honestly think if they try, like, man, that '90s show got so much shit wrong.
I didn't even watch it.
Outside of the cameos of the old characters and um, Red and gosh, I'm blanking on her name. It was so awesome to see them again. Kitty, jeez,
Yep.
Red and Kitty, amazing to see them. Them two are so perfect on screen together. That's the magic I'm talking about. And then you got to see Eric and Donna and Kelso. Fez, like all that, like that was super cool. Outside of that, they were so fucking off on the '90s, and I honestly think these kids had no idea how to do it. Like
Oh no.
no clue. I was like, man, this is way off. Like even if kids had a different childhood than mine, I did not find that show relatable at all. To where when my parents watched that '70s show, they related to a shit ton of it. They're like, oh man, remember? Like yeah, blah 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 blah. They talked about it a lot, and
But even we could relate to the '70s show because it was
some of the
it was funny.
some of the yeah yeah yeah. I mean, it was funny. It was good. We realized it was in the past, and but man, I mean, that '90s show, I was like, man, they are missing shit. It felt like a big miss.
My thoughts was like the plot would have to be similar, right? So it'd have to have certain characters return. That's gonna be hard to do nowadays. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Now
The
with
odd
AI around the
the
corner.
odd parents. That's true.
Yeah.
That's gonna be another episode, by the way.
Next episode, baby.
The odd parents, the bully, Doc Brown, the DeLorean. Like you have to have those kind of similar, things in the new one, and I just don't see it would be.
Yeah.
The quirky lines.
Yeah.
Dude.
Butthead.
Last night, Darth Vader came down from the planet Vulcan.
Yeah.
And told me if I didn't take Lorraine out, he'd melt my brain.
Yeah.
Stuff like
out.
that. In my density.
Yeah.
So it's like shit like that. You'd have to have that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Back in it. It's hard. It's gonna be hard.
I love Biff. Like, why would you loan me a car without telling me there's a blind spot? Look at this. Who's gonna pay for my dry cleaning? I spilled beer all over my suit.
Yeah. Hello, McFly.
Yeah. I don't see them capturing light in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle. Blah. Lightning in a bottle again. And if they
That's
do,
what I said. It's got to be a similar plot, and it's going to be hard.
Yeah, and if they do, I'll embrace it with open arms. I'll probably get fucking J.J. Abrams to do it. He does everything else that relates to our childhood.
M. Night Shyamalan
makes a whole movie that's pretty much the same movie but new.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and then on that side, what Michael J. Fox said, Christopher Lloyd said he's down for a sequel.
Yeah, well, they had on, I think it was either Twitter or Instagram, they were going back and forth on that.
Wow.
And Michael J. Fox was like, me and Doc have something heavy to spill. That was the line.
What?
I think it was on Twitter. Yeah. This was like maybe last year.
Oh.
And everyone was like, whoa, what is it? Are you guys going to remake? Are you going to do a number 4? Like, what's the deal,
Was it that reunion, though, that they were talking
That's
about?
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing to do with another movie or anything, but everyone flipped out. They're like, "Oh my god, Back to the Future 4 is coming out!" So.
And how is that not talked about? One of the best trilogies. Never.
No.
Ever. Oh, great movie though. God. Yeah, both of them movies are great. Will a reboot work? I don't think so. Would a sequel work? I mean, Christopher Lloyd is old. I hate saying that. That saddens the shit out of me.
You know, I
And
actually just seen him this past weekend at Comic Con. Didn't physically meet him, but I seen him, and we were talking about it, you and me, and his line was outrageous to
yeah,
meet him.
I bet.
He's 84 years old, dude, and he's sitting here doing Comic Cons and stuff.
That's
There's
cool.
actually a if you go on, oh damn, I think it's Twitter. He's sitting in the DeLorean at the Motor City Comic Con, and he's like getting out of it. He's
No
like,
way.
hey. It was like cool, dude. But
Yeah,
yeah, we seen a DeLorean there. I was like, there it is. That's so cool.
yeah.
But yeah, dude,
I think
it's
I think a sequel's out of the question because did you see this also broke my heart. Marty McFly, Michael
yeah.
J.
Oh yeah,
Fox, Michael J. Fox's interview recently. Did you ever see the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
yeah.
Quentin Tarantino. Remember
That's a
when
good movie.
Leonardo DiCaprio's character couldn't remember his lines and he freaked out in his trailer?
Hmm.
Like Michael J. Fox said he saw that scene and it took him back to when he finally realized it was time to retire because he stopped memorizing his lines.
Damn.
And he said, I'm looking in the mirror. I had the exact same scene. That scene was the exact same thing that happened to me. I looked in the mirror and he said something along the lines of he actually made peace with it very fast. Like, okay,
Yeah.
it's time to hang it up, and that was the only bright light to that. What we talked about in a couple episodes ago. He was in that gosh darn Designated Survivor. When he was in there, season sucked, but man, I love seeing him. I have a soft spot for Michael J. Fox. He's awesome. It's awful what he's going through. I have relatives that
Yeah.
went through that same thing.
Parkinson's is horrible.
Yeah,
Horrible disease.
it's horrible, but his outlook on it, and it's just he's literally part of my childhood.
Hmm.
Um, I don't see him being able to. He said he retired. I don't see him really being able to remake it. But yeah, like I said, it's my biggest fear, and we'll talk about this in the next episode,
Mm.
is the ability of what AI is doing, and I don't want it to absolutely like tarnish, I guess. Or if they gave their blessings, then I'll consider it. But
Well, you already got Michael J. Fox. He basically said it's a
I know,
possibility.
I
But
know. I just don't. Ah,
yeah,
I don't see it working. And if they pull it off and they're able to catch lightning in a bottle again, like I said, I don't think they could. But if they do it, I'll be there. I will be there. So we'll see. But yeah, the only thing I can think of now is just enjoy the prequel, and that's Rick
hmm
and Morty.
yeah, pretty much, right?
Yeah. So
An awesome show.
yeah,
Absolute amazing.
yeah,
Like,
they need to get
just
there.
just to think about it. Back to Future came out in '85. Do you know how many awesome movies came out in the '80s?
Oh yeah, it was nuts.
Dude, like when I was doing all the write up on the Forrest Gump stuff, and I was just randomly thinking like about. Well, actually, I got onto Back to the Future stuff, and I was just started thinking. I was like, man, there were so many good movies that came out in the '80s.
Yeah,
Like that was a awesome time for movies.
it was. Man, I just feel like they funded anything and everything. Like, there's a lot of fucking crazy movies that came out that time. Like, every time I watch RoboCop, I'm like, the only reason why this movie happened is cocaine.
Yeah,
Like,
no shit,
dude,
right?
there was probably
Yeah.
a fucking Scarface desk full of cocaine. They're like, let's fucking do this movie now. Like, hey, when he opens that
All right.
door, when he opens the door to the party store, make that really weird sound effect. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right.
Yeah,
Like,
fucking Die Hard came out. The Lethal Weapons came out.
yeah.
RoboCop came out. Superman's,
And a
they
lot of them
came
was
out. Back to the
original
Future.
original
Predator.
ideas. And now,
Yeah, Aliens. Like, oh, they had so many like crazy, cool ass movies.
yeah, yeah, and now and that's probably why they're all being remade right now. So
True. Spaceballs came out in the was it 80 late 80s, 88 ish, something like that.
Brandon, I
89.
saw someone. They were they were like, "What movies didn't age well?" And someone commented Spaceballs, and I almost flipped the fucking desk over. I was so mad. I was like, "What?" You know, it's like, "Don't you dare! Don't you fucking
Again,
dare!"
you don't ever talk ill about Mel Brooks movies.
No, no, you learn that quick. You guys will
I
learn
was
that
just
quick.
on Twitter. Someone posted best black and white movie.
Young
you
Frankenstein.
know, you know what I posted.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
all posted like, it's a wonderful life and shit, and I'm posting Young Frankenstein.
yeah.
Probably like this guy, man. What the hell?
Oh, Gene Wilder. We'll have to do a we'll have to do a tribute to him one episode or something like that. Talk
Oh,
about
we
him.
definitely good, man.
Yeah.
Definitely good. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah. So to go on to the hopefully we don't get too heavy on this. To go on to the Back to the Future topic, a mulligan. Would you do a mulligan if there was a year you could redo, but you wouldn't have any time altering consequences? So we would pretty much end up where we're at right now. Our families wouldn't change. Maybe some situations would change. Maybe. But let's just say no time altering consequences. But you're like, man.
No butterfly effect.
Yeah, right. Like,
Ooh.
man, I would really want to kind of mulligan that part in time of your life. One, would you do it? Two, if it's yes, why?
Man, I'm actually a big stickler for everything happens for a reason.
Right.
And as much as I know now, and I could go back and make some smarter moves. I think I'm gonna stay the same spot.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna to take that chance or
Yeah. You know,
yeah.
and that's the thing with me. Like, I'm a type of person, I really embrace my past, but I don't let it define who I am today. I really try for that. But I am a type of person where I think about my past a lot. And, you have to have those lessons to become the person you are today. And unfortunately, a lot of people get hurt along. You and I have both been people's villains. We're there's a chance that we've hurt some people. We're the villains in other people's stories, and then there's a chance that we're the bright spot in other people's stories. It's crazy to think about. And then when you go through that and become more self aware through your history, you learn every day.
Mm-hmm.
The moment we stop learning, it's bullshit. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna keep making mistakes, but you want to learn from them. And I was thinking, I was just like, you know what? Let's just ask a question. There is one year I would go back and redo, but I think about this and I'm like, man, would I learn the lessons that I know today and be at the spot where I'm at right now? And that's the year 2003. 2003, I think I would go back. I think there's one thing I would change, and that was alcohol. That was the year to where a lot of us started drinking. Senior year of high school just started, and it was like hard, like hard drinking. And I think I would change that to the point I would make it a lot less of a priority than I made it before. You know what I mean? Like I lost I lost a lot of friends during that time because of drinking and the fights and the arguing or whatever, just acting like a dick. As I'm drinking a beer right now, But no, I mean this is
Whatever.
a beer, limits learned. But I think I would, I don't, and unfortunately I just accept the fact what happened and learn from it. As
That's
I
pretty much
did
where I am with
eventually.
that.
But yeah, who knows what kind of person I'd be right now if I didn't have those moments to look back on and be like, yeah, don't do that again. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just like I for some reason I just revert back to that year every once in a while. You're on a drive and you start thinking about whatever. But yeah, like I said, like I embrace my past, but I don't let the that stuff define me. Bad stuff define me, and I think I would stand at that time machine and really think about it. Maybe I would. I don't think I would go in, but I would definitely leave it into some consideration. Like, but then, like I said, who knows? Like, what if I do go back and I don't drink, and then because I don't drink and didn't learn all this stuff, it happens later in life. It happens later, and the consequences are more severe. Like I know I said no time altering consequences, but you got to look at it that way, So
Yeah.
it's just an interesting topic. Like who knows?
Yeah, I just, like I said, I'm shit happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Just
so you'd be deal or no deal. You'd be like, no deal, not going back.
Yep. Every case was $1 million.
Yeah. Right. Yeah,
Yep,
it's just interesting. I always thought that was an interesting topic to talk about. So, but yeah, so we're getting towards the end. I do want to talk. Actually, another one passed away just recently. Ray Stevenson passed away. The unknown Frank Castle / Punisher.
Yeah, was that Warzone?
Yes.
Punisher Warzone. Yeah,
brutal. Yeah. We had the Thomas Jane Punisher, which Thomas Jane did a great job. But then for some reason, Marvel was like, we're going to redo Punisher and we're going to go fucking hard. And they went hard on this one. I was like, whoa. Like, it was off the wall comic book violent.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was the goon, the big goon in Book of Eli.
Yeah. He was in Thor.
He was in Thor. My
Volstagg.
favorite movie he was in. And I've watched it so many times. I love crime movies, but Kill the Irishman.
Oh, geez, you watch it so many times?
Oh,
that's like a month. Just a couple episodes or a couple times is like a month long.
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn, what a movie.
That movie's awesome. I love that movie. Actually,
I wish they would make more of those types of movies. Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, Kill the
Irishman.
Irishman.
Dude, I knew it was coming out, and I was waiting.
He was so good.
Mob movies.
Yeah,
dude.
me too.
Any type of that shit. I love them.
We're gonna have to. We'll touch on that on another episode. But yeah, rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. That was a bummer. That was a bummer to see, especially so young. I feel like he was such an underutilized actor. I feel like he could have been in so much more.
Oh, for sure.
And could have been bigger than what he was. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Usually, I don't. Celebrities, believe it or not, only a handful. But like celebrities, I don't hold on a pedestal. But that one, I was like, I'm kind of bummed. I'm bummed that happened. That's unfortunate, especially
you get
so
like
young.
that,
But then,
have you ever watched Rome?
No.
Yeah, he was in Rome for a few seasons. Awesome job. I think he played.
It was a good show.
Titus in the Rome.
Man,
that's another thing I love. Any type of like old medieval things. I love that stuff. Yeah.
And then one of the goats passed away. Tina Turner passed away.
Whoa! When was this?
Today.
Oh, that's why.
I think she was 83, 84.
Holy moly!
Yeah, I was like, man, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I was like, man. Yeah, I felt bad because
wow,
the
83.
first thing I thought about was Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. That was my first thought. I was like, Jesus Christ,
no,
Ryan.
Dude, come on. Out of everything.
Yeah, out of everything.
Oh, no. No.
Hit me again, Ike, and this time put some steak on it.
Oh, my gosh,
I felt like such a piece of shit. I was like, God, that's... Where would Tina Turner be? I'll tell you. Rolling down the river. Yeah, that was bad. That was like, it was my inner monologue, and I was like, not now, Ryan. That's not acceptable, Ryan. And I was like, I know.
Is that your inner yourself? Is he British?
It's got it has a few voices.
Okay.
I know.
That's good.
Yeah.
I can't pinch it off. It stings.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought about that, but it's another one of those things, right?
He speaks Australian with a French accent.
Yeah. Austria.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lovely accent you have. Jersey? Lists off one of the worst accents in the world.
uh,
No offense, Jersey people.
yeah.
God.
Oh, that shit was
South
funny
Park
as hell.
handled you guys just fine.
Oh God. South Park. Oh man, I was actually coming up with a line from South Park to use if I do a certain drink. So hopefully you don't know it, so you'll get a kick
I'll be
when
ready.
I do. Yeah. So
I'll be ready.
I was like, what should I drink? Should I get a beer? Should I get a mixed drink? What should I get? And I was like, oh, South Park. It's like, oh man, I gotta do this. One day I gotta do
Yeah,
this.
drop that on me.
So
Don't even tell
yeah,
me. Just drop it.
yeah, it was good.
All right. So I kind of
Uh,
want to tease next episode while we wrap
yeah,
this guy up.
throw it up.
AI. I want to talk about AI.
Mm.
Um, ugh. Yeah, you know, I thought it would take a lot longer to come upon the public,
It came
but
fast.
it just feels like the floodgates have opened, and I think a lot of people are really. I don't hear a lot of positive stuff about this at all.
No,
Um,
I don't want to say anything just because we'll save it for the episode.
right? Yeah, we're gonna save it for the episode. I want to talk about the whales attacking ships
Mm-hmm.
off this European coast. That sounds insane. And then another thing I want to talk about. I don't know if you've heard the news about this. Face Off 2.
No way.
Yes. I saw a news article on that, and I was like, whoa.
So is Nicolas Cage coming back? And
I gotta
John
look.
Travolta?
I gotta look into it. I didn't. I was like sitting there.
They gotta swap their faces again.
Yeah. Yeah. God, I always thought I was like, the face swap. I think that's pretty cool. But their two body shapes are completely fucking different. Like, what do they do? Like, just like start ripping muscle off of him? I love how he heals immediately.
I know, right? He's like, next day, like you just took your face off,
Dude,
and
we
you
all
look
just ate that shit.
completely fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah, we just ate that shit.
Hey, yeah, I'm Castor Troy.
Yeah, like they're sitting
what
there.
the hell? What's wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, when they're sitting there doing his fucking voice, you're like, don't sneeze or it could loosen it. And he's like, I could eat a peach for hours, and they're adjusting his voice. I'm like, so adjusting his voice is harder than reshaping his entire fucking shape of his body? Like,
Yeah.
like you have a lanky guy and a stocky guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just change his face and hair and we're good.
Face Off 2.
Yeah, Face Off too. You know what? Bring it on.
The
listen,
next face.
Yeah.
That should be the title.
We talked about how like movies, sequels with long periods of time in between have just been an absolute fucking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Look back, Face Off 2 is nuts. It's fantastic. It's great. It is what it is. I accept it. I will welcome this sequel with open arms. Because they better bring the cheese with it. They better not take it too serious. Just fucking do it. Go for it. I will embrace it with open arms. I don't even care if it's bad. Do it. Do it. Don't replace
Nicolas
the actors. Cage. I don't even know. I mean, God, if they replace the actors, I'll be so disappointed. Like, no. Keep Castor Troy alive somehow, some way.
Yeah.
God, just bring them back. I will, no matter even how bad it is, I expect it to be bad, and I welcome it.
So here's a funny story. Actually, I think it was in. Oh man, it had to have been when that movie came out. I'm trying to think of what grade I was in. Maybe 7th.
God, I think it was like 96. It came out. No, we were young.
Yeah.
We were probably
maybe 6th grade,
like 4th or 5th grade. No,
something like that.
Yeah.
No, I think it was 6th grade actually. I think it was. Anyways, we were.
I didn't know what a peach was. That's how
we were doing some kind of art project, and they're like, everyone needs to make a movie poster. I legit just drew the Face Off movie poster and named my movie Face Off.
Nice.
Like it's just like copyrighted the hell out of it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this is my movie Face Off.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, okay. Like they didn't even realize, that was just the movie that's out in theaters,
I just looked it up. It was 97.
97.
And
Okay,
actually
so
very
yeah, it's like 6th grade.
very
Yeah, so.
impressive. IMDb got a 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes at 92%.
That's actually shocking.
Yes. You know what
Rotten
though?
Tomatoes are a
I
bunch of
think
A's.
people accept it is what it is. Like we talked about in previous episodes, shut your brain off and just enjoy this ridiculous shit. Let's just shut our brains off. It's awesome.
God damn, dude. Castor Troy.
Yeah.
I mean, when he looked at his brother, or no, it was like whoever in prison, he was just like,
Oh, yeah.
his weird ass face.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, oh, yeah.
He's getting his ass beat. Like,
yeah.
That's not.
I'm Castor Troy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I said.
Yeah. It has the crazy guitar
Who the
line.
hell says that? Yeah.
When he does. Yeah. Yeah. Wee! When he does that crazy ass smile. It's like,
yeah.
Damn.
Like, who the hell does that?
Yeah. Homeboys.
Who talks to himself in first person, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
okay, cool.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll definitely snoop around in the Face Off 2 category.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, all right, dude.
I can't wait to talk about the whales thing. I think that's just gonna be fucking crazy. Crazy. So.
Damn.
But all right, well, you better come up with an embarrassing story because I'm up 2-0 on you.
Hey, man, I got time.
Life and Times of Ryan. So, yeah, we'll enjoy that. But all right,
damn,
well,
dude.
let's wrap this one up.
All right, cool, man.
Yeah, Facebook and Twitter still, Instagram.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep, I'm still up in limbo with them. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
all right, brother. Let's wrap this one up. To all the listeners, thanks for subscribing and sticking around. Keep up with us. Spread us around. Share our podcast if you can.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Either way, we're having fun. We hope you enjoy it, and we hope everyone has a good, solid, safe weekend. And enjoy yourselves. Be safe, and we'll talk to you later.
Until next time, my friends.
See you later.